So over the past couple of weeks, I've just started wondering whether or not Tony Abbott, the Prime Minister, is developing a bit of a tin ear. Now, his mentor over the years was a little bit hard of hearing, John Howard. We always knew he had to lean over the side a little bit because he had a hearing problem, but Tony Abbott doesn't seem to be listening too closely. First of all, a couple of weeks ago, out of the blue, we discovered that we're returning to the days of having knights and dames in Australia. No one had even discussed it, was never sort of hinted at or forecast during the election campaign during August and September last year. Well, fair enough, we'll put up with that. But suddenly we're getting all of this talk, this rumour, this innuendo coming out of Canberra about a deficit levy. They're playing with words again. You can call them weasel words if you like. It's basically a tax. Let's be really honest about it. The reaction to this levy or tax has been almost universal. We've got Liberal backbenchers and fellow cabinet members of the coalition all hiding under their desks right now. You won't find one of them around right now willing to put their head above their desk. They're inundated with emails, complaints, text messages and phone calls from irate members of the public saying, "What is going on? You went through a whole process last year for 2 months on that campaign trail. You promised us no new taxes." And in fact, the Treasurer, Joe Hockey, and one of our callers on the show this morning made a very good point. She said Hockey was the one who was going out last year lampooning the then Labor government, saying for Labor their problem was all about spending. Suddenly, what have we got now? We've suddenly got a revenue crisis on our hands. Well, where did that come from? Interestingly, they're talking and floating all of these ideas about us paying more levies and taxes, yet there hasn't been any discussion coming out of the federal government, no great strategic vision for what are we going to do with government spending, because that's where the real cuts need to be made. We've got a bloated public service that has never really been attacked, not for the past 2 decades, by any sitting government. There are lots of opportunities here to really hack in and cut out the fat. We've got a lot of public servants getting paid in excess of $200,000 a year. For one example, take the Commonwealth Department of Education. They don't have any responsibility for schools or universities really across the country, and yet they house almost 4,000 public servants. 4,000 staff. That's bureaucracy gone mad. It's another episode of Yes Minister. So for a start, Tony Abbott and Joe Hockey need to start looking inside the halls of government and power first before they start hitting our hip pocket.